Criminals and felons, mutants and murderers. You are now tuned into the Disney Holic Show.
Hello and welcome to the Disney Holic Show. That's Jen Diz.
And that's Mike TV.
Today we celebrate episode 187 by exploring Disney kill counts from evil villains to the murderous Jedi. We also catch up on Marvel miscellany and play a game of Would You Rather. So we are often dialed in to the episode number, which helps us with our topics for the episode. And today's episode is 187. What does that mean?
So I think it's a police code, right? For
It
murders.
is. It is. And what's funny is I just thought everybody knew that, but there's two reasons why you and I know it. Is because it's specifically a California penal code. And so
Oh,
we
I
grew
did
up
not know that.
hearing that. We used it in pager code as well. And then a lot of the
Yeah.
music from California, Snoop Dogg and stuff, they would talk about that too. Murder was the case, all those
Mm-hmm.
kind of rappers and all that. So there you
Murder
go,
was the case that they gave
187.
me.
I wonder anyone else out there
Awesome.
listening, watching, do you know 187 means murder? Dun 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 dun. So so let's dial M for murder and get into some
Yes, let's.
dark Disney lore. I also know you
I
love
love
true
it.
crime, so I thought, ooh, this is going to be fun. Um,
Yes. Good one. Good one.
whoop, whoop, whoop. So this is fictional though, so no worries, anybody. No one's gonna come kill you. You'll be fine. But I
No
was pretty
worries, especially not the
disappointed.
Disney Holics.
Not the Disneyholics. I was pretty disappointed to find out that the Jedi from Star Wars, we think of them as heroes, right? They have some of the highest
Right?
kill counts in the like Disney verse, which is kind of terrible. And I guess it
Did
depends
a
on
Jedi do?
the Jedi themselves. Yeah, the
Oh
good
yeah, I
guys,
never
good
really thought
people.
about that.
So starting with
Especially when
Luke
you get Anakin with
Skywalker.
the whole room full of younglings.
Oof,
Yikes.
yeah, Anakin, that's child murder. Child murder.
Yeah,
Anakin's one. He
dark.
has he has a lot. And then his son, Luke Skywalker, the hero we know and love, over 1.5 million deaths just by blowing up the Death Star alone. These are just innocent
Oh, he killed that
workers.
whole thing.
Yeah, they're just like employees doing their jobs with
Wow.
some soldiers thrown in. Let's say they have like a childcare facility there for the stormtroopers. Just imagine, he killed them all. What's funny is this is all according to the internet and the fans and people who spent the time making these lists. But there's a lot of arguments from Star Wars fans saying that should only count as one kill because it's the Death Star. I actually disagree. I think he committed mass murder.
No. No. Yeah, absolutely not.
It's war, right?
It's
Star Wars.
one shot, maybe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
The heck? No way.
Murder is murder. And then we
It
got
gets much
Ahsoka
darker.
Tano, another
Yes.
Jedi that we love. Ahsoka Tano, 4,002,915 is her kill count.
What?
And there's so much
Wait,
phantom.
Ahsoka did
Yeah.
4 times the amount of Luke Skywalker?
Well, Luke is over 1.5 million,
Jeez.
but I think Ahsoka Tano is the top. She kept coming up on these listicles as one of the top, even above some of the villains. And there's YouTube videos
Ahsoka.
dedicated to Ahsoka's kill counts. So go check them out. They're pretty funny. What made me sad is, it depends on your point of view, right? Is that a lot of them were droids, sentient droids, like R2D2 types that somebody
Oh.
cared for and somebody's friend and family member, whether they're bad or good. She killed lots of sentient droids, um,
Hmm.
and troopers and
I
things.
don't think I would consider those the same
Ooh,
level
okay.
as life
As
kills
like
because you
a
could just make them another droid, right?
creature thing. A living sentient
Right.
creature, like organism, fleshy. Fine. Yeah. Yeah. I kind of agree with that. The droids
It's
are
a
a little
hard one.
iffy. Yeah. But if somebody killed like BB-8, I would be so mad. For some reason, he would count to
Yes,
me as
that's
a
true.
real kill.
You're right. Okay. Sentient, it does make it different because they
Yeah.
do have, personalities and you do get bonded with them. So,
We saw some
okay.
of that
Okay.
in,
Fair.
is it Andor? Look at me referencing Andor. I think it's Andor where there's like a bar with all these sentient droids that were just left behind with no jobs and they hang out and they created their
Mm-hmm.
own bar. Yeah. So, yeah, even if they retire after being, a killing machine, I guess they have feelings and friends. Oh, kind of sad.
Oh,
Yoda, Jedi Master Yoda, over 75
stop.
kills on his kill count list. And there were some droids thrown in there, but a lot of clone troopers. So those are people inside the costumes and, or not the costumes, but the, what is it, armor, I guess. In my mind's costumes, but yeah, armor,
I mean,
war. It's
if
a
you had
war.
said him first, I would have been shocked. But now that
Oh,
we've gone over the 4 million mark, I'm
yeah,
like, oh, 75 is nothing.
not so bad. Now he was
Not
pretty
too bad.
violent with his kills, though. Like he's slicing people in half from top to bottom with his lightsaber, and a lot
Yeah.
of just like really aggressive stabs straight through the heart. I guess it helps when they have the
Yikes.
armor on because you don't like see their expression, but those are people
Where did
inside.
Yoda kill most of his people? Was it through the like comics or something? Like I don't remember
A
it being
lot of
that
it seemed
bad
to
in
be
the
in
movies.
Clone Wars, the in the prequel
Okay.
trilogy, and then the Clone Wars animated series is where a lot of
Okay.
the asterisks
Okay.
were showing up on these kill count wiki
Mm.
pages. And then the one that just hurts me the most, it's just so dark, it's so evil. Murderous. Ben Solo, once a Jedi turned Sith, Kylo Ren, killed his own freaking father, like in front of our eyes.
In
Oh,
front of our very eyes,
yes.
and the gasps in the theaters
The
on that
gas.
moment. Ah.
Oh, I still can't believe like that was like what they went there. Oh my gosh. And then he just let his body just flop down into the nether realm.
I know that was the worst part. Did he like, am I tripping or did he like nudge him off? He just let him fall or something. Like just
In my mind,
like
he
you could
like
tell he didn't care.
boots him off, but I think he did just
That's
fall.
what I'd say, like just like nudged him off, like get out of here.
Oh, how sad. I think so. Like, let's say somebody extends their lightsaber into your chest, you're kind of stuck to it, dead. And then when they retract it back, I guess that's when he just fell off it.
You think he
Ew,
just fell backwards, right? Yeah.
yikes.
So
All right, so
dark.
those are Jedi. They're supposed to be heroes, but hopefully we can change some people's perspectives because war
Yikes.
is war, and depending which side you're on, murder is murder. Okay, dial M for murder. All right, what about Disney, like old school Disney? Evil, evil murder that we were all scarred by as young children.
Think villains,
Scar
villainous.
himself murdered
Mm.
Mufasa, also in front of our eyes, traumatized. And
Probably, I would have to say that was
oof,
probably the most like recognized Disney murder.
yeah,
Like the one
it
that
was
people
like,
talk about constantly, like the most traumatic.
and it has all the things that you look for with like a true crime murder. It was planned. It was getting other people involved to get to the plan. It was trying
Hmm.
to frame on the buffalo things, and then it was a family member. Oh, and there's some blood
Dark.
too. Before he lets him go, like he really puts his claws into his hand, pretending to save Mufasa, and then lets him go. Oof.
Yikes.
By the way, have you seen the new Disney Mufasa trailer, the prequel to Lion King live action?
I must be under a rock because I didn't even know about this. What's going on?
It looks
Wait,
so
did we
dumb.
know
It looks
about this from
bad.
D23?
We did, yeah, we did know that they're making it.
Yeah,
This
okay,
was
I
the
do
first
remember the
trailer, though.
announcement.
Yeah, I would say
I have
for
not
the
seen it. I have not
the
seen that.
non-Disney holics, this is probably the first time they're hearing about it because they released the trailer. And I don't know, I didn't love the live action remake to begin with, and it looks just like more of the same. Except it's a prequel and it's baby Mufasa. And I guess you get to find out the story of his brother Scar and what happened. Turns out he was an orphan and Scar was his was a or Mufasa was an orphan and adopted into Scar's royal family, according to the synopsis. And a
Oh.
lot of Lion King diehard fans are very upset because that's different than the animated sequels and the lore of Lion King. So
Oh. See, I didn't watch those either.
I didn't either. I didn't either. But apparently they were supposed to be blood brothers, which I always assumed like they were family. But no, I guess they adopted Mufasa, which is also pretty dark. That's giving me like The Good Son with Macaulay Culkin and Elijah Wood,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
If the parents are ending up choosing Mufasa over their own son, oof. So I don't know what
Oh
Scar
man,
does,
that
but
scene in The Good Son has
yeah,
burned a moment in my memory. Yikes. Oof.
that's a good movie.
It's a dark one.
Ooh, Good Son.
Yeah.
Um, So yeah, that trailer's out if anybody wants to go check it out. It has a huge cast, all the returning voices from before, and some new voices as well. They also are going to doing, I guess, flash forwarding and flashing back because Simba and Nala's daughter is in it. So I have a feeling they're like telling her the story of your grandfather, Mufasa, or something, and it goes back. But to my annoyance, the voice of Nala is still Beyonce, like it was last time, Beyonce Knowles, who I think did a horrible, horrible job. And now Blue Ivy, her and Jay-Z's daughter, is playing the daughter of Nala. It's like Nepo baby
Of course
times a
she is.
thousand. Yeah. That's
Of
like,
course. Yep.
so I'm not interested. The only saving grace, if I'm gonna say anything, is the director. I was very surprised, is the guy who directed Moonlight, which won an Oscar. It was like a gay story in the Black community. So from like a DEI win, like, okay, this is pretty cool. They got a really good director to take the story seriously. And so we'll see, but it's just still the weird CG animals talking.
Yeah.
Oh,
Huh.
and
I wonder
one
if it's progressed since then, the CGI
yeah,
also.
like a little bit better. I know what people didn't like about the first one was that they didn't show emotion like the cartoon. They were too natural. So it was really boring to watch.
Hmm.
So I don't know if they're going to change that or address that.
Yeah, we need some more anthropomorphism in there, right?
Yeah, like we already know it's fake. Like just make it fun. And then
Yeah, yeah.
Lin-Manuel Miranda is doing the music. So I know that people that's divided.
Oh
People
boy.
either love or hate it. Very different than the previous writers and songs like
Yeah.
Tim Rice, Alan Menken, Elton John. So we will see. Anyways, let's get back
Interesting.
to M for Murder. Ernesto de la Cruz from Coco murdered Hector. You end up finding out Hector. You end up finding out toward the end of the movie, and it just crushes little Miguel's heart to find out his idol killed his. Is it uncle? I think Hector's his uncle. Ooh, evil.
Wait, no, Hector's his dad.
Dad.
Remember?
Dad.
That's what you find out the
Hmm.
twist. Ernesto de la Cruz was,
I
I don't
mean,
even think he was related, right? Weren't they just buddies?
yeah, he was just like a famous
Musicians
star.
together?
Um,
Yeah. He wrote music with Hector and then he
oh
stole his
yeah.
music. Dark.
That is very dark.
Dark.
Murder. He is a pretty cool looking murderer, though,
Yeah,
especially at Oogie
especially at
Boogie
Oogie Boogie
Bash.
Bash.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Jinx.
Okay, another murderer, Mother Gothel. She's definitely a villain, so it's not a surprise. But I kind of forgot about this when I was reading about. There's
I was
all
just
these.
saying, I was like, what?
There's so many fan lists. It's just funny when you Google something and you're like, oh, I guess I'm not the first to think about this. There's all these lists about
Right.
Disney murders and who killed who and whatever. But Mother Gothel stabs Flynn Rider in the kidney, is what the article says. And it's pretty sad. And he dies, which I forgot. Rapunzel brings him back to life with her
Yeah.
magic tears, but he's fully dead and he's fully
Uh,
murdered by Mother Gothel. Whoops.
Goodness gracious. I don't remember
Yes.
that at all. It's time to watch that one again.
Yeah. Some more dark ones. Love it. Okay. Judge Claude Frollo from Hunchback of Notre Dame. He's already evil. He's already a pervert. But within the first like 10 minutes, he already murders somebody. Quasimodo's mother. Also
What?
forgot
I don't
about
remember
that.
that either.
It's very like prologue-esque in the movie. So he thinks
That's
she
why.
like stole stuff because you know he like hates the gypsies. He thinks she stole stuff. He chases
Mm-hmm.
after her, chases
Mm-hmm.
her through the city. She runs to the church to claim sanctuary where she's supposed to be safe, and he should know that because he's part of it. And he kicks her down onto the stone steps, and her neck snaps. And then to make it
That
worse, he
seems like
tries.
something I would remember, right? But
I
it's
think it's
just
like dark and
not.
raining and lightning in my mind. Um,
Shoot.
and then he sees that she's holding a baby, tries to kill the baby, who's Quasimodo. He
Oh
tries to
my
kill the baby.
God.
Infant genocide or something like that. There's a word that this article used. It's funny.
Familicide.
Infanticide, something like that. Yeah. But one of the other
Funny.
church members says no. He stops him from killing Quasimodo and says, as your punishment for killing this innocent woman who didn't steal anything, you now have to raise that baby on your own. And hence the story. That's where it starts. Ooh. When I read
Proper
about her
punishment.
neck being cracked, that was just like, oh,
Yeah, I think
dark.
that sounds pretty, yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. What other murders can we cook up? Okay, this one I'm not too familiar with, but I thought it was worth highlighting because a couple reasons. So I don't even know the name. Saber or Sabor is the leopard from Tarzan. And it's not like the main villain, it just is a killing character that kills things in the beginning. But I started putting it
I'd be
together and I
willing to guess
think
it's Saber.
Saber, like saber tooth, right?
Because Sabretooth, yeah.
And I think isn't it the one from the treehouse that's like real loud and scares people when you walk by it, like jump scare?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's the same leopard, which I always thought was like a cheetah or something. So apparently Saber kills a baby gorilla in the beginning of the movie. Like tricks it into like chasing a frog and takes it in the bushes and like kills it. Ooh,
Oh Lord.
murderer. What else? Dr.
Murderer. Murderer.
Facilier, murderer. Dun, 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 dun. Dr.
Tiny
Facilier,
Kamosi.
really sad
Yes.
one. He kills
This one I do
Ray.
remember.
Yeah. What do
So
you remember? What
sad.
do you remember?
Yes. Crying.
How would you kill a bug as Jen is if you were just trying to murder a bug?
If I were to kill a bug, if I needed to kill a bug, I would probably get a wad of toilet paper and smash it or a shoe, like a flip flop, because they're bendy.
Bendy. So Dr. Facilier did a little bit of
More like a
both.
spider, though. I don't think I'd ever kill anything else.
Oh, what I mean, like a flying one. So Ray from what is it, Princess and the Frog, is a lightning bug, very cute.
Mm-hmm.
And Dr. Facilier smacks him from the air, and he falls to the ground, and he's struggling. And then he takes his shoe and smashes Ray. It's very sad. And then Ray's still not dead. He's dying and smashed. And he stays on, he like holds on long enough to see Prince Naveen and Tiana reunited, and then he lets himself go and dies. But the the
Oh my
the
God.
nice sweet part is he goes to join Evangeline in the sky, and then the other star shows up next to Evangeline.
Aw, that
So
is very cute.
if it wasn't for Dr. Facilier's SWAT and shoe, he may not have been reunited with Evangeline. So I don't know about that one.
I think that's when the tears were like with the star.
Oof. Oh yeah. That's giving me Rocket Raccoon when he died. Spoiler
Oh
alert.
my God. I don't want
And
to
then
think
he
about it. It's too soon.
he goes back to
Too soon.
the beaver droid thing, girlfriend.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh.
that's sad. Okay, and then I got one more murder for you here, but it's a group of murderers, a clan
Oh.
perhaps, the
Oh, okay.
Sanderson
Ooh.
sisters from Hocus
Or a
Pocus.
coven, even.
Coven, there you go. That's a better
Ooh.
word. The murderous coven known as the Sanderson sisters from Hocus Pocus. So they kill Emily Binks, who's the sister of the guy who turns to the cat into the cat. But
Hmm.
they go after her because she's a virgin and she's part of their sacrifice thing. But yeah, they
They
end
need
up
her for the
killing her.
black flame candle.
Black flame. So she dies dead. Another child murder there in the Disneyverse.
Yeah.
And then Winifred, played by Bette Midler, also, this is all off screen, I think, killed her own boyfriend, who turns out to be Billy Butcherson, the zombie thing. Do you know
Yes.
why he killed? She was. Do you know why he was killed by Winifred? Winnie.
Mm, so she cut off
Motives.
his head. Motive. Um, he cheated on her. I don't know. I can't
Yes.
remember.
Yes.
Oh, I was
With
right.
her own sister, Sarah.
Oh,
Uh,
is that Sarah Jessica Parker?
I was wondering that. Someone out there's probably screaming. I can't figure out who the other two are. It seems
I
too
can't remember
easy
their
that
names right
Sarah
now. It
would play
feels
Sarah. I'm not
Mary.
sure.
Was there a Mary? I don't
Uh,
know right now.
yeah, I
Winifred.
can't think
Oof,
of
it's
it.
not popping.
Popping, popping, popping. I do think somebody out there, I'm a little too lazy though, but should do like fictional true crimes of a lot of these, like a full-on
Oh, that's
episode. It'd
cute.
be cool. Like,
That's
what was
actually
the
really cute.
motive? Especially that one. Like, it involves family and murder and cheating and virgins a lot. Okay. Um, I
You know
was
how fun it would be to have those like videos where they interview someone where they're supposed to be disguised. So they have like the voice coder, and then you just see their silhouette, and it's like Winifred's hair. And we
the
all know all the
hair.
sisters'
Oh, that
hairs,
would be
right? Like, so
good. That'd be really good. If someone's listening
it'd
out
be
there, we
so
demand this
funny.
content, please,
Who knows
for
how to
our
do this kind of
entertainment.
content? Let's go.
I was gonna go into Marvel murders, but I started looking it up, and there's just so many. There's just so many because they're like superheroes and villains, so there's just people dying left and right. I
Yeah,
guess kind
imagine
of
how
like
many
Star Wars, but
buildings they've
it
blown
was a
up.
lot. Exactly, exactly. So rather than that, let's just jump into Marvel miscellany because there's a ton of Marvel stuff that's been coming up over the last few weeks that we haven't fully discussed on the episodes, and I think now is the time.
All right, let's do it. What you
Is the
got?
time is the best time of my life, your life?
This is the time. This is the best time. Is that the words?
Now I
This
can't think of
is
it.
the best time of our lives, right?
I think so. My sister does not
Now is the
believe me
time.
that
Now is
there
the
was
time.
a song for Carousel of Progress that wasn't the current song. I was trying to explain to her.
I know people never believe
They
it.
don't believe it. And you can even hear it in the queue for like People Mover and stuff. And I'm like, this is it.
Yep.
This is it.
Yep.
Anyways, okay, Marvel Miscellany. Did you know
Nice.
they're putting a Spider-Man themed roller coaster at Shanghai
Ooh.
Disneyland without an
I
Avengers
did not.
campus?
However, this is
Weird.
screaming Universal
Ooh, I was gonna go one lower. I was gonna say Six Flags.
or Magic Mountain.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
Magic
Six
Mountain.
Flags. I don't like that. I don't like a coaster. Um, I don't know. I can't. I guess I'll reserve my judgment because Guardians technically is a coaster. But from what I saw in the concept art or blueprints or whatever that the fans are sending around, it looks more like a rock and roller coaster type, like a straight roller coaster. And there's no Avengers Campus announced with it, so like it's just random and weird. I don't know.
Huh.
I don't
That is
like
very
it.
weird.
I don't like it. I haven't been
Yeah,
to Shanghai
because
Disneyland though.
what? Wait a second though. Everything in Disneyland always has a match to it, like a land.
Right?
So where are they gonna put that? Maybe like Adventureland or something? It's an adventure. Does it feel right still?
It doesn't feel
It's not
right.
the right vibe. I don't know. That's
Not
weird.
into it. Okay, so let's go over to
Tomorrowland,
uh
maybe.
Tokyo Disneyland.
Okay.
And I think we may have mentioned this before, like around the beginning of April, because I thought it was an April Fool's joke, but it's the new version of Small World coming to Tokyo Disneyland called It's a Small World with Groot. And it's going to have all the Marvel characters looking like Small World puppet style. And they're going to be in the areas of Earth where their characters would be, whether it's a fictional city or New York City, for example.
Now,
What do you
is
think?
this miscellany section that we're doing right now one of the ones where I need to call you out on fibs?
No, unfortunately not. These two so far are real.
This is according to Mike TV. Okay. I already can't remember that because it's probably still feels like it was April Fool's joke in my head as well.
I like 1000% didn't believe it. And I had to keep looking and looking, and it is real. It is temporary. But it's also one of the first Marvel things coming to Tokyo. And I don't know, I'm kind of torn. It looks so cute. The concept art looks so cute to see all the characters in that doll style and like little Groot in the front. And I think he's like just touring the world to like learn about Earth. And I mean, that makes sense for Tokyo. Like, I feel like they would do something cutesy like that. Um,
Right?
so it's like not in my backyard. So as long as it's not Disneyland or actually, I don't care about Disney World, Small World. As
Yeah.
long as it's not Disneyland's, I'm okay with it.
Yes, same.
Right.
Same.
So I don't know how long that's going to be there. Kind of want to see it just to say before it goes away because it'll be something
Let's go.
talked about, right? Like 10 years from now, they'll be like, remember they did that weird,
Right. It's gonna be
weird
like the
thing.
under new management, the tiki
Yes,
room
Tiki
that a
Room
lot of
with
people didn't get to see.
Iago and who? The other bird.
Um,
Zazu. Zazu.
Zazu,
Yeah,
Zazu.
Lion King. Um, Hollywood Hotel at Hong Kong Disneyland. We also haven't been there, neither of us. They're getting Marvel themed hotel rooms at that hotel. So there you go.
Mm,
I guess Marvel's making its way
okay.
to the Asia parks. I think they already
Does
have
that even
Avengers
match the
Campus
hotel
at Hong
though?
Kong. Yeah, I don't know. I
Just
don't know.
what's
It's
going
kind of
on?
like they shoehorned Incredibles into contemporary, and I still don't like that.
I still don't like that either. Well, I mean, it is no contemporary isn't mid-century modern either, right? Because some of it kind of looks mid-century modern.
Oh, I see where you're going though, like the design aesthetic of The Incredibles.
Yeah,
Fine. All right.
fine, fine.
Aside from the parks, there's other stuff in the Marvel verse. So there's a Spider-Man sequel in development. So this is Disney and Sony teaming up again. There's just so
Awesome.
many rumors and speculation. I can't even keep track of it. But yeah, definitely Tom Holland, possibly another Spider-Man from the other verses might be in here too. We will see.
Ooh,
All I know is that, as usual, there's just drama with Disney and Sony trying to figure out the story.
nothing new there.
Nothing new. And then, I have to ask, did you see the Deadpool and Wolverine trailer, the newest one?
Yes, I certainly did. And can we talk about it for a minute?
Yes.
Okay, this is official Disney, right?
Yes, the first
It's
time.
Marvel Studios,
Marvel
and they don't
Studios,
mention
Kevin
Disney one
Feige.
time.
Yeah, just like Avengers and stuff. You only really see it, I guess, like
Yeah,
in the credits.
just as Marvel Studios.
Yeah.
Okay,
But yeah,
okay.
fully promoted by Disney. It's going to be marketed by Disney. First Disney R-rated Marvel film,
Yeah.
and the first
And it
official one coming
seems
from Fox.
of course, probably like everybody else, curious to see exactly how far they take it. But they already took it pretty far in just the trailer alone. There's like a lot of
Yeah,
cursing in the trailer, which I thought was
so
interesting because
much.
like you don't
Yep.
even see that normally on other trailers. So I was like, okay. Lots of murder, M for murder, and lots of blood.
Lots of
Another
blood.
thing that movies are not allowed to do a lot of sometimes, right? Um, yeah. What did you think about the trailer?
I'm hyped. It looks good.
Me too.
Um, It looks like something that everyone is going to enjoy. A lot of the Marvel stuff lately is like hit or miss for some audiences. Like, unless you're a big Marvel fan, you're just like, whatever, or maybe even skipped some of the recent stuff. But this one looks like it's going to get audiences into theater, get people hyped, excited. A lot of people love Deadpool, especially Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool. And then Hugh Jackman is just like he is Wolverine. Like, I know we want to
Right.
recast him at some point, but he's Wolverine, like from the beginning of the live action X-Men movies. So cool to see him back, and they're buddies in real life. So just it's one of these things where they're having so much fun on set together and
That's
probably
cute.
improvising a lot.
Right.
And then there's a villain that from the comics is depending on which version they take, is Professor X's twin sister and or clone. So it's this bald woman, and she's
Oh,
very scary
that's
looking.
my first note. I wrote a couple notes about the trailer to ask you about. I said, "Who is the bald lady?"
There
That
you
was my
go.
first question.
She's either a clone or the sister,
That
depending
is
on
bald
which
lady.
storyline they take it
Oh,
from.
okay, okay.
And then I really want to stay away from trailers and spoilers now between now and the summertime when it releases because there's supposedly so many cameos that I don't want it to be ruined. I just want to be excited like we were with like Spider-Man No Way Home. So we will see what happens
Right.
there.
There's a
Uh
couple other things I want to mention.
yeah,
First
yeah.
of all, super cool. First and foremost, like two of my favorite of any of these type of superhero action anything movies, including Marvel, including X-Men, including all the things, are Logan and Deadpool. So I'm like super excited about this
Ooh.
movie. And they're very different than each other, so I'm a little nervous about how the combo is gonna go because it could be like super amazing or it could be like kind of weird. I don't know. Um, but seeing Wolverine in the yellow costume was super cool,
Yeah.
right?
A lot of
Super,
people
super cool.
are dissing Bryan Singer, who did the original first X-Men movies, because remember they were all in black costumes, and a lot of fans, including me, were disappointed that they didn't use all the colors from the comics. And he said,
Mm-mm.
"Oh, it just wouldn't work on screen." And people are like, "Booyah! It totally works on screen. It looks cool. It looks part
Right?
of the
Hey,
MCU, and it's still yellow. Deal with it." So yeah, that is very, very
right.
exciting to see that.
There was another little piece in the trailer that I was like, what? And it's just, it's so fast that I'm like, what the heck? First of all, we see Ant-Man for a second, right?
Ant-Man as
Or is it
Giant Man.
Giant
Right,
Man?
yeah, but it
Yep.
is Ant-Man with a skull
So that
inside.
was super surprising.
Very surprising.
So I
Like,
was like,
is
what's
that
going
Paul
on with that?
Rudd dead? What is that? Yeah. Ooh. And it
Scary.
kind of looked like they're in one of those realms like in Loki where all the like discarded things go. It looked very like Mad Max Apocalypse or something.
Yes. Okay.
Ooh.
That was my other comment was what was that Mad Max portion?
I don't know. Yeah,
Did
I
you see
think
that? The guy like riding on the thing with all the speakers behind him was like very Mad Max.
very.
What
I
the heck?
think they're going to be hopping. My fan prediction, that is a combination of other fans' predictions, is that they're going to be hopping universes, cinematic universes, and ultimately end up in the MCU that we know. And it's going to like kick off the next phase of the
Okay.
movies. I
Okay.
hope
Okay.
so. I really hope
That's
so.
pretty cool.
They showed like something that looked like the Doctor Strange portal thing, and they jumped through it, but they white out what's on the other side, so you can't see where they're jumping into, which was exciting. I was like, "Oh, what's happening there?" But yeah, I'm liking it. And then, so my husband Jerry, I said, "You have to watch this trailer." He hates this stuff. He hates Marvel. He hates action movies. Um, Madonna, Like a Prayer is the song they use in the trailer, and there's a special remix for it now for Deadpool. I love it. It went so well with the contrast of all the
It
funny and
does.
weird
It really
stuff. Yeah.
does.
And I don't know if everyone remembers, but in Deadpool 2, Celine Dion wrote, or I don't know if she wrote, but she sang the theme song that was an original song for Deadpool 2. And the video was hilarious. And she even performed it at her Caesars residency in Vegas. And I went
Oh
to
my
see it,
God,
and
I
there's
love
like
it.
Deadpool screen graphics behind her and everything. She's so funny and fun. It's just random.
That's
Um,
amazing.
but yeah, so I don't know how deep Madonna's involved in this. In my mind, I hope she like makes an appearance or something. That'd be pretty,
That would be
pretty
fun.
funny.
Like nice. Speaking of all the cameos, maybe drop
All
her
the
in for at least a
cameos.
couple seconds,
There's a
right?
big
Yeah.
cameo that's been rumored for a year now that I think neither you or I will actually get excited about, but the Swifties will. So there's an X-Men character
Oh, that's
called
right.
Dazzler, and she's like a singer. She's like very gem-like, and she can mesmerize people with her cool like holograms and stuff. So supposedly they go to a concert and it's Dazzler performing, and Taylor Swift is playing Dazzler. We'll see.
That is truly outrageous.
Truly outrageous gem. So
Truly, truly, truly outrageous.
seems like it's going to be cameo filled, but I think they're going to do it right because it's all the right people who are fans of that stuff making it.
It's a good film for it too. Like the Deadpool side of things is good for that. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, and he can always
But
keep
did you
breaking
catch the
the thing.
Disney reference in the trailer?
Ooh,
Oops,
which one?
sorry.
Which one? Which one?
It's actually really adult. Like not like adult sexy, but like not not for the younger audience.
Oh.
Did you catch it? No?
No, I remember the one from the teaser, which I'll talk about after. Which what did you see?
Okay. Okay. So this was in the full trailer as well, but it was do you want to build a snowman as a
Oh,
cocaine reference?
oh my gosh. Wow. Wow. Full circle. That's hilarious.
I
Good
was
on
dying. I'm
them.
like, okay, that is like next level for that. Like G-rated Disney people being worried about it. And I'm like, I would feel much more comfortable now that I heard that reference. That's really, really funny.
They're like, well, they gave us full creative control. Here they go. In the teaser that I think
Right? Right.
premiered at the Super Bowl was when the TVA, Time Variance Authority, they banged on Deadpool's door with their big stick things, and he was asking if they're gonna use it to peg him. And then he looks at the camera and says
Oh
something like,
shoot.
"Wait, no, this is Disney. They won't allow that," or something. He says something like direct to the camera.
Oh my God.
So hoping for a lot more of those. Pretty funny.
Yeah, same, same.
Um,
Anyways, I'm excited nonetheless.
some more Marvel miscellany. Thunderbolts is a movie that they've been talking about for a while. We've seen like the logo for it at the last D23 Expo. It's kind of like the Misfits, the group of Misfits. So like Black Widow, I guess she's Black Widow now, but the sister, Yelena, love
Oh,
the
right.
actress, right? We like her, I
Hmm.
think. Yeah.
Yes.
Um,
Florence Pugh.
Florence Pugh, and then dude from Stranger Things, who's her dad in Black Widow, he's in it. And
Hmm.
then lady from Seinfeld's in it with the purple hair that showed up in Winter Soldier. So, yeah, that's what the Thunderbolts is. But something interesting happened. They re-announced the logo. I guess they re-premiered it. It's a different logo, and now it has an asterisk after Thunderbolts. And they said that is absolutely now part of the title. And you will find out why after it's released.
Oh, okay.
Ooh, mystery.
Huh.
I kind of like that.
Interesting.
I kind of like that. The fan theories out there is there was a group called the Dark Avengers in the comics, which was similar to Thunderbolts. They were just like misfits, kind of like the Batman DC world has Suicide Squad. I think it's Marvel's
Right.
version of that. So perhaps
Okay.
it would be interesting if they completely change the title the day before it releases, or if there's just an inside joke in the movie that they don't want to be called Thunderbolts, they'd rather be called Avengers. I don't know, but I guess we'll find out. But there's an asterisk.
Right.
Very interesting. Some
Interesting.
bummer news. I found out that She-Hulk and Moon Knight, two shows that I
Hmm.
actually enjoyed Disney Plus, are not going to have season two.
For sure, for sure.
Like 95% because the all the cast and everyone involved were like,
Aw.
nope, nobody's called us, nobody's talked to us, there's no word about it.
Aw, man.
Yeah. And
Moon
then
Knight was pretty good. I really liked She-Hulk though.
yeah. And apparently
That's a
She-Hulk
bummer.
cost like millions to make. So it's even less likely they're going to invest in that again for a TV series.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean they won't show up in some of the big movies. So hopefully we'll see more of them. But I love Moon Knight. Moon Knight is my Disney Plus avatar when I log in, and love Oscar
Aw.
Isaac. Yeah, and they kind of teed it up at the end where
Sad.
one of his other personalities came out as a cab driver. So I don't know if we'll ever see more of that.
Darn, darn, darn.
Are you watching X-Men 97, the animated series on Disney Plus?
Of course not.
Okay, so it is so freaking good. I am beyond
Aw.
impressed. And I love that
Okay.
it's pissing off a lot of people, like a lot of the people who don't like wokeness and DEI and all that. They're like getting so mad that there's all these very direct parallels and undertones about that. And all the real fans are clapping back. They're like, duh, Marvel has always been about that, especially X-Men. And like Stan Lee even talks about it. He's like, the bigotry needs to be called out, and we do it in our X-Men series. And, there are people who are being shunned and murdered for who they are because they're different than everybody else. And so I think it's just funny that people are acting like they're just noticing it now. But if you're a true fan, it's kind of always been there. But anyways, aside from that drama,
Ouch.
the whole series is really good. I think there's a couple more, maybe one more episode left. It's very dark. It's very adult. It feels like a graphic novel. Feels a little bit like Japanese anime in terms of like the heaviness of the content and the dialogue. Some of our favorite characters die, and I just was like, "Oh my God, what's happening?" It was very
Oh
sad. It
no.
was so sad. And it's just beautifully animated. It looks just like the 90s series. It's just gorgeous. And you could tell that everyone involved, creators to animators, were not only fans of the OG series, but fans of X-Men. You can just feel it through the
Mm.
storyline and the dialogue and the costume designs. Um, but yeah, it's really good. And one of the twists, which you find out in the first episode, so I'm going to spoil it here, is so in the original series in the 90s, it left off with Professor X dying. So now the X-Men were left without a leader.
Hmm.
Picks up straight from there, and they're trying to fight over who the leader is going to be. Should it be Cyclops? And it turns out that Professor X already had a plan in his will, living testament, who's going to lead the X-Men if he were to disappear. Magneto, his arch nemesis.
That's right.
So good.
Wow.
So now Magneto has that love-hate relationship with Professor X, but respects him deeply.
Interesting.
And so he takes it on and he's like, yeah, sorry, guys, I'm your new leader.
That's
He
really
takes off his
cool.
helmet. He got this long gray hair. Love it. And then a lot of other
What?
things happen and they like fight about who's going to lead them and everything. But that's kind of what kicks off this new series. And it's been renewed for a couple other seasons. So I'm really happy about that and highly recommend it
Very
if
cool.
anybody
Nice.
um, wants a side of Marvel that's a little bit more serious, or if you're a fan of the 90s cartoon, definitely watch this. It's one of those things that grew up with us. It does not at all feel like a kid's show. Like I'm shocked at some of the moments in this new show.
Hmm.
X-Men
Yeah, I
97.
need to get on it. I'm a little behind on my watches of everything and the above. So,
It never hurts. I was probably like 5 episodes behind on this specifically, X-Men 97, because I wasn't sure about it. And I'm glad I waited because then they're so short. They're like 20 minutes. So then I could binge it now. And now I'm caught
oh,
up and I
nice.
have to wait. Yeah.
That's good to know. I'm glad you said that.
Yeah.
I love those kind of shows sometimes. It's like the right timing for that. So,
Yes. Oh, and the creators were like, yeah, and we also want to release this weekly, just like it was on Saturday mornings in the old time, so that you have time to talk about it and think about it in between. So I like where they're going with it. It doesn't show up on Disney
okay.
Plus Saturdays. I don't want to confuse anybody, but they do the weekly thing, like they did with Mando and all those others.
Got it. Yeah.
Um, we haven't played Would You Rather in a while.
We haven't. Let's play some games. Let's do it.
I thought we should do a Would You Rather Mutant Edition. The mutants have
Ooh.
arrived. And for
All
people
right.
who aren't as obsessed with Marvel as a few of us are, I will also help you along the way with what these mutant powers are. And I'm going to have you choose which mutant power you, Jen Diz, would rather have between two choices. So
I'm
I'm going to
glad we have
start.
listeners because I also might need some help.
Yeah. Yeah, if you're listening, shout out what you would do too, or think about it. And these are all pretty hard. And it's one of those common questions that comes up a lot in like icebreakers. Like, what would your superhero power be? So it's kind of like that, but this is going to be specific to mutants from X-Men universe. So starting with Storm, one of my favorite. She's badass in X-Men 97.
Hmm.
Would you rather
Yes.
control the weather like Storm or be able to manipulate magnetic fields like Magneto?
Hmm. I think the magnetic fields one, because you do, I feel like you could do more damage with that one than you can with the weather,
Ooh, so you're
right?
you're on a villain path. Damage.
Like
Wants
if
to
I
do
need something to, oh, however, if I was able to control the weather, I could like make it thunderstorm whenever I want just for my own pleasure. That's quite nice also.
Ooh,
I would
especially the
make it
Disney
rain every
parks.
time I'm at Disneyland so everyone
Yep,
leaves. Yes.
exactly. There you go. That's your dream. All right, you got to pick one though.
Okay, that's what I'm going with. Forget it. I'm going with storm.
Storm,
Storm.
Storm. It's a good one. It's a good one. She can also fly because she can control weather. I think that's why she flies. I'm not sure exactly. Um, all
That's
right.
true. Okay, definitely storm. I could fly to Disneyland and then make it rain when I
And
get
make it
there.
right.
Perfect.
So between Nightcrawler and Jean Grey, so Nightcrawler can teleport to different parts of the room. I don't think he can teleport like from New York to LA, but he can teleport like from one side of the room to the other
Oh,
in that
boo.
like cool little blue smoke real quick. Do, 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 do.
Right.
Or Jean Grey, she's a psychic. She could read what you're thinking, read your mind.
I would have to choose Nightcrawler, even though I personally think his mutant power is lame, but I would hate to read other people's minds. I would hate
Ooh,
it. I would never use it. I'm like, I don't want to know.
don't want
I'd
to
rather
know.
be left in the dark.
Especially like a lot of the themes with the X-Men storylines are dealing with becoming a teenager and puberty and when your powers come to life and not being able to control them, especially if you don't have someone like Professor X helping you. So imagine being Jean Grey and you
Hmm.
can't turn it off. You're just
Yeah, no.
yeah,
Nope.
very,
Nope.
very stressful. Nightcrawler, I think you could teleport into like the front of a queue or something. Now I'm thinking about Disney
Oh, see, that
parks.
would be good. That could be like, all right, I just need to get to Haunted Mansion quicker than walking from parts.
Yep.
So just go. Hey,
All
you'd be
right.
able to skip a lot of time if you could just hop around a little bit.
Yeah, or you don't even need to use your pass to get in. You could just teleport from one side of the gate to the other.
Yeah.
Whoops.
I would save like $1,400 a year.
There you
Let's do
go.
it. I love it.
All right. Would you rather have Cyclops's optic blast? So, he shoots red lasers out of his eyes. Anytime he opens his eyes, though, it shoots out, which is why he has that. He needs those sunglasses. Or Iceman, he can generate and control ice. He's kind of like Elsa, I guess. So Cyclops or Iceman.
Or what's his name from Incredibles also?
Oh yeah, Frozone.
Frozone. Um, I guess I'd go with the ice because there's control.
Oh,
Like I don't
okay.
like the idea of having to wear those nerdy glasses for the rest of my
Yeah.
life. I mean, I already got a pair of those, so I don't need another pair.
It seems scary. Yeah, you can never again lay your eyes on somebody without murdering
Yeah,
them
no, no
and
way.
dial M for murder. Okay. Ooh, this one is gonna be a hard one, at least for me, if I had to be forced to decide. Mystique or Rogue? So Mystique, she can shapeshift into anybody that she's seen before. Rogue
Okay.
can take anyone's other's mutant's power. So like she could touch Iceman and now she can use the ice power. She can touch Cyclops and she could have the red eyes and she could also shake it off when she's done with it. So Rogue
That's
or
right. She has to
Mystique.
touch them though, right? She can't just like think about it.
Yeah,
She
she
has
has
to
to
like
touch them.
be in
And that's why
contact with
she
it.
wears gloves. So she has a hard time with
Mm.
physical intimacy, which comes up a lot on X-Men 97 because she can't have the physical touch without that happening.
Okay. I love hugs, so I'm gonna go with the other person. Who did we just say?
Mystique.
Mystique.
Yeah.
Mystique, I don't like that one either because it seems manipulative and I don't like that. But I guess I could use it for some like what if I like, made myself look like Walt Disney. I could walk in Disneyland for free all the time. I don't know,
People
that'd
will
be
be
so
like,
creepy.
what's
Maybe
happening?
like Tony Baxter,
It's a ghost. Tony Mac,
if
Josh
he's still
tomorrow.
alive.
Shapeshift.
Josh Tomorrow.
You should do that.
Shapeshift as
Shapeshift.
Josh Tomorrow and just walk in and then everybody will
Uh-huh.
love you and then boom.
Get on the
See?
D23 Expo stage before he does and announce something that he can't take back. and then walk off. And then the real one
Like,
comes
oh, this
on.
is a blue sky.
Ooh, okay. There's some fun things you could do with Mystique.
I like it. I
Um,
like it.
all right, there's Angel and Gambit. So Gambit, he to me is one of the most sexiest of X-Men. But what he does is he
Ooh,
can put power into an object and use it as a weapon. He does it with playing cards, like that's his thing, but he can technically do it to anything. But he uses playing cards and then he'll throw it. And I think it's pink, so that's also cool. And then Angel has literal wings and can fly, like angel wings. Very mutant-y,
that's it.
literal.
She just can fly.
He, yes,
She
can
has
fly.
angel wings. He, Angel from Party Monster. Just
Oh,
kidding.
death.
Um, oof. I'm for murder. Um, I guess I would go with Gambit. What do you mean by this pink? What's pink?
So like let's say he infuses the energy into a card. The card will glow pink. And if he throws that pink
Oh,
card at you, you'll get injured.
okay. I do like pink, especially hot pink. And I like
Hmm.
that one. That one's okay.
So
I'll take
Gambit,
that one.
yeah. They're both kind of like dorky
Gambit.
powers, right? Kind
Yeah.
of like, "Ugh, I'd rather just be human, thanks."
Yeah, like
Um,
the angel one's just like too much. I'm not trying to do all that.
oh yeah, that's forever like changing the your back and what your back looks like.
Yeah, good. Too much.
Blah, blah, blah. Okay, let's do one last one.
Okay.
Deadpool or Sabretooth, which is funny because both of those things came up. We talked about Saber the Leopard and then Deadpool and
Hmm.
Wolverine trailer. So most people don't actually know what Deadpool's powers are because he's just like one of those superhuman people like Captain America. But technically, his powers are that he has superhuman reflexes and superhuman combat skills, which is why he's so quick with and the dodging the bullets and it's kind of like Matrix-ish. And then he somehow survived being burned. I don't know if that has to do with his power or not. So that's
Well, yeah, he
Deadpool.
regenerates, right?
Yeah, I
Deadpool
guess so.
regenerates,
Yeah,
right?
right? Like if he gets a bullet, it comes,
So
he
I
doesn't
would
die.
probably almost immediately go with him.
Yeah. Oh, not Sabretooth. You don't want to
Even
look
though
like a giant animal with fur and sharp teeth. He also has enhanced
I
senses
guess.
like smell, and he can jump really high. Nope, no Sabretooth. Yeah, Deadpool's pretty cool.
No.
Especially if you don't need to have the burned body, just have the
And Deadpool's hella cool, but he is riddled with cancer. So that's interesting too, because if he can have cancer, but he can regenerate, right? I think he can regenerate. I don't know. That's a weird one.
yeah, because he doesn't
That's
get
a
hurt.
weird
Like he
one.
lets the bullets, he takes the bullets when they hit him. Um, Now I need to know more
Yeah,
about that. Like,
yeah.
what's with the burn thing and the cancer and the regenerative powers? Someone out there probably
Right.
knows. Well,
Somebody
that
tell us all,
was
all that, I'm sure.
Would You Rather. We dialed
It was
M
fun.
for murder on a rotary phone.
We did.
We covered some Marvel miscellany projects in the parks and movies and shows. And then we ended with the mutant edition of Would You Rather?
Yeah. Nice. Well, thank you all for listening, and we hope you enjoyed episode 187 of the Disney
Murder.
Holic Show.
Follow us on social media at the Disneyholics.
And if you'd like to get in touch with us, send us a DM on Instagram or contact us at thedisneyholics.com.
Okay,
Goodbye.
bye.
Murder was a case that they gave me.